Hello, friends. Hello, friends.
A tradition unlike any other.
Oh my goodness. In your life, have you seen anything like that?
There it is! Adam Scott, a life changer. Mashed potato!
Here it comes.
Our friends at Cobra Puma Golf have done it again with the new Aerojet family of drivers built to be the most aerodynamic they've ever made. Building on the impressive design and performance of the previous LTDX lineup, the advanced aerodynamic shaping of the Aerojet family is the product of years of research and testing with some of the fastest swings on the planet. The Aerojet drivers are available in 3 models aimed at catering to every player in the market. The Aerojet LS, or low spin, rated the longest driver for 2023 by MyGolfSpy, is designed for skilled players that demand low launch and low spin for maximum workability and control. The standard Aerojet appeals to the wider spectrum of players and features aerodynamic shaping for faster club speed and an impressive combination of forgiveness and speed for maximum distance. And of course, the Aerojet Max, probably more along the lines of yourself and myself, Drudster, blends aero shaping with maximum stability and optional draw bias, with a variety of adjustable weight ports offering an absurd amount of stability, control, and forgiveness for those of you who, just like us, struggle a little bit to get it off the tee box. All 3 models also feature the PowerShell face insert, which debuts for the first time on a Cobra driver, delivering a larger sweep zone for faster ball speed right across the face. So for more information on all 3 models of the Aerojet driver and to view the full family of fairway woods, visit www.cobragolf.com.
This is the 19th Tee podcast, of course, presented by our friends at Cobra Puma Golf. And I'm very excited to have a guest on the other end of the line. No Marshy, of course, but I am joined by someone who is, I would say, more of a golf aficionado than my host, Kieran Marsh. It's Simon Zybek from Blitz Golf. We love having him on. Simon, thanks for joining us on the 19th Tee again, mate. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Mate, it's been an exciting few months. There's been announcements coming out around the Blitz Golf. It's on our doorstep. The Australian Summer of Golf is officially here. It's a big summer of golf for particularly here in Australia. So we're very much looking forward to Blitz being an integral part of that again. I mean, how have the last few months been before we look forward and maybe preview the season a little bit?
Yeah, it's been exciting. I mean, it's a lot of planning, pretty much from the time we wrap up, January right the way through to the event. There's a lot of planning that goes into this, and we're very excited to have 5 events this summer, starting in Brisbane on the 29th of December, and then we've got a doubleheader in Victoria. So we haven't had an event there for a little while since Kerr Lewis. So we've got a doubleheader with Freeway Golf Club in Melbourne, followed by the Yarra Valley, the Eastern Golf Club, and then off to Howlong and then back to Adelaide. So it's a really cool little circuit, and can't wait to get stuck into it.
I mean, the last few months have been busy for you. I know we've obviously had a few conversations away from the recording studio, shall we say, and there's been plenty of really exciting chats that you've been having, not only about the summer that's coming up, but about the broader expansion about Blitz as well. I mean, maybe what can you share with us that you're happy to put out in the public realm?
Yeah, I mean, look, the plan's always been to really have multiple, I guess, Blitz circuits around the world. So we've grown the Australian series steadily, amidst all the challenge we've had. I think that's growing nicely. It's a really evolved product here. We've, I guess, tested the product in the toughest, most isolated market in the world for golf, that is. So to sort of come out the way we have is exciting. And then the vision was always to have like maybe 3 or 4 of these little mini tours around the world, and they might be spaced, 3 or 4 months apart. And then what it means is, we can have our Australian series, and then maybe it's a March, April series somewhere else, and then it's a September, October series, and maybe that leads to a world final at some point. That might be a few years off. But first step is to try and see how our first overseas look. We've got a few potential partners we're talking to at the moment, a few investors. Ideally, we'd love to sort of have at least 1 international series in the next 18 months. And we've always been that slow and steady mindset. Whilst we'd love to have, $1 billion backer, and we'd certainly love to go big bang, our mantra's always been slow and steady. We'll grow it, and evolve it nicely, and you can iron out the kinks that way. And I think we've got to a nice spot now where the product's really mature. and we could pretty much pick up this series and plonk it anywhere in the world on relatively short notice and execute a really cool series. So that's certainly our next, I guess, phase of involvement. Looking forward to sort of announcing something hopefully at some stage next year.
Looking ahead at 2023, 2024, as you mentioned, it kicks off in a really nice little sweet spot, I think. December 29 in Brisbane at Oxley there on a Friday. It'll be Friday afternoon. And I think that's the thing that stands out to me on the schedule is you got 3 Fridays and 2 Sundays, and I think that's perfect. I think a lot of people play golf on Saturdays, so you've avoided that. Friday afternoon, early knockoff, it's perfect to go and have a couple of beers. But you kick off in Brisbane at Oxley, who I know have been great supporters of the product. And then we head to Melbourne, Freeway Golf Club, Friday the 5th of January, the Yarra Valley, Sunday the 7th of January at the Eastern. How long, which we'll circle back to because they've arguably been your biggest supporters thus far in the Riverina on the 14th of Jan, and then on the 19th of Jan is at North Adelaide, which I know holds a very special place in your heart. But what stands out to you about the schedule this year?
Yeah, I think that's certainly what you touched on there is moving towards those twilight events. I mean, it's for us having, the only real short form product in the world, it's that 3-hour product. It allows us, it lends perfectly to a twilight start. We can kick off as late as, Adelaide and Melbourne are 4 o'clock starts. They could even probably kick on at 5:30. We've chosen 4 because it's, I guess, that holiday time of year. So we don't envisage too many problems there. And we like the idea that we can sort of wrap it up 7:30. People can roll into going and doing stuff in the city of Adelaide or city of Melbourne. And that sort of really ties in with what I guess the councils and our supporters would want to see as well. And then sort of the more regional events on those Sunday afternoon time slots works really well as well. So you bang on. It's Friday afternoons or twilight, and Sunday's probably going to be our key time slots. I don't think a Saturday night's out of the question next year. And the reason I say that is because we're pretty big on getting to 8 events next summer. And we will want to work closely with everyone around the schedule to try and make sure that we don't clash. It's always been our idea to not clash with tour events. It's not in our interest to do that and I guess take away potential players from our own series as well. And it was unavoidable last year. This year we've got a couple of clashes as well at the back end of the series. But certainly next year we'd want to try and avoid that where we can. And that might mean condensing sort of 8 events into 3 weeks, which might be a Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, sort of triple header, if you like, around the country. And that could be exciting. I don't expect every player will play every event, but that's not always going to be the case anyway. But certainly I think that allows us to get back to Perth. It allows us to get to Sydney. There's a few other sort of cities that have put their hand up for an event next summer, which I'm really excited about as well.
You touch on the schedule there and the timing of it. And I think, we've spoken about it plenty that it's never been about competing with our tour. It's about coexisting and how everyone sort of works in the golf ecosystem together. And I think you found that really nice spot in that December, January window where, players may not be playing as much golf because there is the break in the tour schedule. And I think that's perfect because I still think there is a demand there for players that want to keep the focus and keep practicing and keep playing. And that's what Blitz allows them to do without having to go and play 4 days of competitive golf. They can do it in 3 hours. So I think that's a real big selling point for you as well. Of course, we'll miss you in Perth this year. Miss you in Perth this year at the WA Golf Club. I know, of course, there was scheduling clashes and it just didn't work out to be this year, but I think you've got a great schedule. You've got a great schedule ahead. And I'm sure that ticket sales are probably already looking good for a number of events. So all those links are online that I'm sure people are hitting already.
Yeah, no, it's been really good, really, really good support, and we expect some great numbers out at all our events around the country. And certainly as the events evolve into their 3rd and 4th years, we've seen that in Adelaide where the crowds have sort of doubled year on year for the last 4 years, and we expect it again this year. So it shows that we've got a product that people want. It's different, again, it's not trying to be a tour event. And in fact, we've doubled down in the entertainment angle this year with going more celebrities. It's that real we've always had that mashup of pro celebrities. We've given elite amateurs a chance to qualify to play against the pros, which is unique. Something that we can do in our series. And it's cool to see this mashup of people going head to head over such a short amount of holes. I mean, the cream will always rise, and no doubt the top 4 players in most finals will be a bunch of tour pros. But
you never know.
You never know, and it'll be great to see a celebrity sort of creep into a final this summer. But it's certainly been a cool journey so far. I'm really excited where it's going, and we've just doubled down on this at the entertainment, more fan engagement. We've got some really cool stuff to announce. Stay tuned for Thursday this week. A really cool announcement around some engagement. So we're doing it in North Adelaide, but around the country, bring the fans onto the stadium hole during the action to putt for major prizes. If a pro hits it within a 6-foot ring, we give someone in the crowd a chance to come out and putt for another prize. So there's always still stuff that we do differently. Mascots running around, giving players high fives, engaging with fans, and just stuff that you don't normally see at a golf event. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it's still a serious golf event in terms of the actual action. People are playing, obviously, to win. There's still that money on the line. In fact, this year it's even more so because every pro gets paid in our events, which is, or every player gets paid, which is unique. But the winner takes all purse this year really, I think, doubles down on the entertainment pressure angle, which is going to be really exciting to see.
Let's have a look at the schedule. As I mentioned, I ran through it quickly before. Brisbane is the first event of the year, Friday the 29th of December. That'll be day 4 of the Boxing Day test. You can watch 4 days of the Boxing Day test. You watch all 4 days. If we haven't rolled Pakistan, I think we're playing. The game will probably be over at this rate, the way that we're playing. Yes. The minute you can roll up to Oxley and get the afternoon there. Oxley have been wonderful supporters of the Blitz format. I mean, you must be excited to be kicking off the season in Brisbane there at Oxley.
Yeah, no, look, that's great. And there's some really cool celebrities getting involved this year to play against the pros. And again, that gap in the schedule means we're going to have access to a lot of good tour pros as well. So I'm really excited to see that kick off there, and big supporters up there.
We then go to Melbourne, Friday the 5th of January. I mean, that'll be, I think, going back to the cricket analogy, I think that might be the 3rd or 4th day of the Sydney test, and no doubt that'll be washed out again because it always seems to. Or the test will be over. Freeway Golf Club in Victoria. There, I must admit, I'll put my hand up and say I don't know a lot about Freeway, Simon. So maybe you could fill me in about what I need to be looking forward to about heading down there to Freeway. Exciting
venues. It's for us about partnering with the right clubs that set up well, that loop back to the clubhouse really nicely, but also have a great proximity to the city as well. So it doesn't have to be a private course. Public courses work really well, and this is a great public setup. Just really central to Melbourne, which I said ticks a lot of boxes for us in terms of getting people to the events, getting maximum numbers through the gates, showing them a great product, and then everyone can kick on afterwards and enjoy Melbourne City, which is what we want.
Staying in Victoria for the next one on the 7th. So we've got almost a double header, I guess you could say, at the Eastern. I mean, wonderful course. Everyone has probably heard of the Eastern, the Yarra Valley there. It must be, I guess you've got 2 events in Victoria. It's such a massive part of the Victorian economy is golf. And I guess it's the home of golf here in Australia anyway. So it's exciting that you've got 2 events there. The 3rd event of the season at Yarra Valley at the Eastern.
Yep, definitely. That's going to be a great venue. First time, and last year we were supposed to be there, and of course they had the flooding late in the year, which was horrific, and that sort of washed the course out. And of course, we know what they've gone through this year as well with the clubhouse. But they've pushed on. They're going to have the events. It's going to be great. We're going to do a great. The way we set up with our stadium hole out on course, the live music surrounding it, the activations, it's going to be sad not to see the clubhouse there, of course, but it's. We can still put on a great show, and we look forward to everyone getting behind that and putting on a great show for the region.
Riverina, we head to next. I mean, a wonderful part of Australia, if you don't mind as well. Even if I would suggest making a weekend out of it and going and watching Blitzford, and then heading along and checking out some of the beautiful parts of New South Wales there at How Long. I mean, they have been, exceptional supporters. We touched on Oxley before, but, How Long have been wonderful supporters of Blitz. And I'm sure that you're excited to be getting back there to New South Wales in mid-Jan.
Yeah, that's our 3rd event there now. And I think part of hopefully a longer term deal coming up with them. But as we grow the series, it'd be great to keep some regional events on the calendar. And, it's not too far away from major cities like Melbourne as well, so people can get up there quite easily. But like I said, it's a great spot, and that course sets up amazingly well. And, I guess true to Blitz style, we don't even have to use holes as they are on the course. We actually, in the 6-hole loop there, 2 of the holes are completely made up. One's a par 3 over water from a made-up tee over the lake to a green, and there's another hole which is literally from a tee shot over a lake in front of the clubhouse to another green. So we're good at sort of making up exciting holes, and certainly the players and fans really liked that last year. So it was great.
And then, of course, the grand finale, I guess, at North Adelaide, which has been, it's been the home of Blitz Golf, I guess, in many ways for a little while anyway. We saw last year it was, a wonderful turnout. South Australia is certainly right behind this event. Broadly, South Australia's behind alternative formats of golf. We saw what Liv did there Friday the 19th. It's the perfect lead in to, I guess, I'd suggest that people might be taking 4 days off the week after and having an ultra long weekend for Australia Day that's in there. So, it's always the biggest and best event on the schedule. So I'm sure it's going to shape up to be exactly that once again on the 19th.
It's going to be huge, and look, that's where we want to get all our events to. It's obviously Adelaide's into its 5th season, and as all the events evolve, they'll all get to that point, I'm sure, and especially in the bigger cities like Melbourne, Brisbane, Perth, Sydney, of course. And really excited to see what we can put on this year. Got live music on 4 of the 6 holes in round 1. Different music acts as you walk around. We've got 4 different bars out on course. The stadium hole is going to be just wild because it's just such a tight hole. It's a 90 metre, 100 metre par 3 stadium hole up the hill, and it's just completely surrounded by noise, and it's a cool event, and just right on the doorstep of the city. It's such a unique golf course being in the heart of the city, and pumped to have that venue in the schedule. Great supporters at North Adelaide Golf Course, City of Adelaide, and looking forward to growing that one as well. And great place to finish.
So 5 massive events on the schedule again. I'm certainly looking forward to tracking the progress of the events this year. Is there one thing or one event that maybe stands out to you in particular that you're most excited about? I know you're going to a couple of new courses. That's always exciting. You've got, at North Adelaide is going to be bigger and better. Is there one thing that you're really looking forward to most? I don't know. Maybe it's asking to pick your favourite child. I don't know. But is there one thing?
Every event we go to, there's always something that comes up which surprises me and excites me that we can evolve and take to all the events. So, there was the elements that worked really well in Brisbane last year, and we were able to adapt that to our events. And likewise, all the other events will offer something different. And then you obviously get that feedback from different fans around the country as well. So the product, whilst mature, we're not going to be complacent. We're always going to look to make it the best it can be. And I think that's how you've got to be in the entertainment space. And that's where we sort of put ourselves. And, I'm genuinely just excited. We've got obviously 2 brand new courses on there, having not been to Melbourne before. Obviously Geelong was great, but we feel that Melbourne is going to be a really cool fit for this. And just getting to new courses is always good fun. And just getting back to seeing fans that they dial in, they follow us throughout the year. They're giving us good feedback. They can't wait for the series, and they're on there, and it's getting to meet them in person and sort of, they're watching it evolve with you, which is really cool. It's all part of the journey that we go through together. So it's exciting.
Well, speaking of exciting, I am excited for the 2023-24 Blitz Golf season. Of course, you can get all the information if we're very fortunate. We've picked up some new listeners in recent months. So if you're not familiar with the format, of course, 6 holes, 50% of the field advance, 50% cut, depending on which way your philosophical lie is. 3 holes, the top 4 advance, and then of course we go through to a 1-hole playoff and have one winner. And if you want to learn more about it, you can head to blitzgolf.net, and that's where you can get all the tickets as well to see some of Australia's best stars and some celebrities come and try their hand at playing golf and see how good they really are. And I think it's I think what I love about seeing the celebrities and the pros play alongside each other is just, it really highlights how good the pros actually are. I mean, you see wonderful golfers that, we have in our country come along and play some sensational golf. So the tickets, again, blitzgolf.net. Get online, get your tickets to the 5 events. So we're looking forward to it here on the 19th tee. We'll be certainly giving it a bit of love as it comes around. And we'll be in touch with the main man, Simon, on the other side of the screen, who's, I'm sure he's got his flights and accommodation booked to jet set around the country running these events as well, because it doesn't just happen. So he's going to be a busy man over Christmas and New Year. So thanks very much, Simon, for joining us, mate. Really appreciate you jumping on and having a chat on the 19th tee again, mate. Thank you and best of luck for the season.
Super. Thanks, mate. Cheers, mate.